Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over, some miscellaneous Pokemon events and updates that have been announced. We also have some new Pokedex leaks to go over for Pokemon Legends Z-A, some Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order updates to go over. There's a lot of things to break down today, so if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's quickly go over these new miscellaneous Pokemon events and updates. The first one being a new Mon Poke short, which is now available to watch. We've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the latest episode of the web anime series Mon Poke is now available to watch. I know a lot of you guys do enjoy these Pokemon shorts. If you haven't seen them yet, definitely recommend it. They're really cool, colorful, vibrant, as you can see from the image here. Definitely recommend it if you haven't watched it yet. And then the next Pokemon update that I wanted to go over is for Pokemon Go, which is adding Applin, Flapple, and Appleton into the game. So we've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the Pokemon Go Sweet Discoveries event has been revealed. It runs from the 24th of April at 10 AM local time to the 29th of April at 8 PM local time. And as I just said, adds Applin, Flapple, and Appleton into Pokemon Go. So the 24th of April is not next Thursday, but it's the Thursday after. And then you've got 5 days to do this event and try and get yourself an Applin, a Flapple, and an Appleton. But anyway, those are the Pokemon events and updates. Moving on, let's take a look at some Pokedex leaks for Pokemon Legends Z-A. So, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there are a ton of story leaks that are kind of popping up all over the place, mostly in the Ball Guy Discord server, and then they are getting posted online to like Twitter and 4chan and stuff like that. And this is one of those said leaks. So, we've got Centro Leaks here tweeting out saying Pokemon Legends Z-A leak, Zygarde is number 230 in the Pokedex. So for comparison, Pokemon Legends Arceus' Pokedex had 242 Pokemon, so it's looking very similar, which I'm kind of surprised at, but I'm also not surprised at, because you have to remember that this game takes place in one city, whereas Legends Arceus took place in multiple areas that you could go to. So fitting 230 Pokemon into one city is quite a difficult task, especially when you're trying to fit in loads of different types of Pokemon like ice types, water types, you know, ghost types, where are they all going to kind of spawn in like one city. So 230 it's not bad, but because we've got over 1,000 Pokemon now, you're like, well, that's basically a fifth of the total amount of Pokemon that could be in the game. The main thing is that it's bringing with it like every Pokemon that wasn't available on the Switch before, like the Elemental Monkeys, Furfrou, Patrat, Watchog, stuff like that. So with Zygarde being 230, there might be a couple of mythicals after that as well, like Hooper might be after it, maybe Diancie or Volcanion or something like that. So it might go up to like 232, 233, but it is looking like the full Pokedex is going to be around the 230 to 235 region. And we already know about 120 odd Pokemon from the trailers we've already had. So there's not that many returning Pokemon that have yet to be revealed. And remember, they haven't officially revealed that the Kalos starters are back, or all of the Kanto starters are back. We've only seen Charizard, for example, or the Hoenn starters are back. All these Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, are they not going to be in the game now? So there's like 70 new Mega Evolution, well, 70 Mega Evolutions after Legends Z-A with all the leaks and stuff. So that's a massive portion of the Pokedex. Is if every Mega Evolution returns, that can obviously Mega Evolve. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? 230. I mean, it's a very small Pokedex. We don't know if this game's obviously going to get DLC or not, so that might include some additional Pokemon returning. But yeah, that is the kind of number that we're dealing with within Pokemon Legends Z-A. And then we also have this to go over as well. This isn't $60 max, I ain't going near it. So the Switch 1 version will be $60. The Switch 2 version will likely be $70. Again, that's just what Centro is saying. Doesn't obviously know because it hasn't been revealed yet, but it's looking likely that that is going to be the situation, because we know that Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games are going to be around a $10 to $15 increase, and it's very likely that the Switch 1 version is $60. You know, so it just kind of put two and two together. It's going to be around $70, $75, something like that. We've got Soul Silver talking about this as well, saying potential Pokemon Legends Z-A spoilers. So good not to say a final number, because there might be some mythicals after Zygarde, and it's also important to remember that we'll have both new and old Mega Evolutions too. Still, I was originally hoping that Pokemon Legends Z-A would have a lot more Mons available to catch than Pokemon Legends Arceus. one of the biggest criticisms of Pokemon Legends Arceus was that there wasn't enough variety in catching Pokemon, but that's because catching was the whole loop of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Instead, Pokemon Legends Z-A is very battle focused, so a bigger dex doesn't matter as much now, in my opinion, which does make sense. Like, this game is all about battling, you know, you're trying to like collect your Pokemon in the day and then battle these trainers at night, rank up, and then that's kind of like the whole premise of this game, to get from rank Z to A. So yeah, there probably isn't going to be a lot of Pokemon to catch, but I don't know, I feel like when there's over 1,000, I just feel like 230 odd, it just leaves a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, just simply because I think that it is going to, I just feel like there should be more, like at least 300 or something. I get that it takes place in one city, but I don't know, maybe a little bit more would have been good. But anyway, those are the Pokedex leaks, and then also we do have a leak regarding the Kalos starters, and that is that they are going to be in the wild. So just like Pokemon Legends Arceus, where the Generation 4 starters were in the wild, you can now get the Generation 6 starters in the wild exactly the same. So Froakie, Chespin, and Fennekin. Don't know how early you're going to get them, but they are not given to you by a professor. They are given to you by, well, catching them in the wild. So I do quite like that. I was kind of expecting it as well, because one set of starter Pokemon is obviously given to us at the start, being Chikorita, Totodile, Tepig. Another set is going to be in the wild, which is these. And then if we're going to get Hoenn starters and the Kanto starters, are they going to be given to us by a professor? Who knows? But that's just another quick leak that I wanted to go over, because a lot of people have been asking about the Kalos starters. It's not like a story leak or anything. I don't know how far into the game it is until you get them, but they do apparently appear in the wild. Again, this is coming to us from the Ball Guy Discord server, which again is where all these story leaks are kind of coming out of, which apparently are all legit. I don't know, it's from an early build, we'll have to wait and see, but those are some Pokedex leaks and Kalos starter leaks that I wanted to go over. Coming up next, we have a new update from Doug Bowser regarding the higher pricing of the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch 2 games. So this was posted on Nintendo Soup, saying Nintendo America's Doug Bowser explains the higher pricing of Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch 2 games. So they go on by saying, following the official reveal of the Switch 2, many fans were shocked and disappointed at the price of the console and its games, reaching up to $450 USD for the former and $80 USD for the latter. At the time, many assumed that the higher price of the Nintendo Switch 2 was because Nintendo was anticipating the high tariffs being implemented by the US president. In an interview with The Verge, though, which has just happened, I think yesterday, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser seemed to hint that this was not actually the case, saying that the tariffs were not factored into the price of the Nintendo Switch 2, instead saying that the higher price point was due to the enhanced features built into the new console of the Nintendo Switch 2. So we covered something the other day, which it was an article about Nintendo's pricing, saying that the pricing was put in place because of the tariffs that they expected they were going to have to pay. But now apparently that's not the case. Apparently they have put it at this price because of the kind of hardware in it, and now the tariffs may also impact it as well. It's not looking great. Obviously we haven't found anything about the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 for America going forward as of today, which I thought we might, because it's the 9th of April when pre-orders are going live, but we haven't had anything about that. So it could still be pretty costly. Says we want to make sure that this is a device that is approachable, that consumers will see as part of their overall entertainment experiences, and will understand that it has longevity to it. And all of those factors really go into the consideration of the price. Put the 2nd April tariff announcement aside, any previous tariffs were not factored into the price itself. So with regards to the price of the games, Doug Bowser shared similar comments with the Washington Post, saying that not every game will be priced at $80 and that there will be variable pricing between games depending on how much work went into the game and how expansive it is. So what you see right there is variable pricing. So we're going to look at each game, really look at the development that's gone into the game, the breadth and the depth of the gameplay, if you will, the durability over time and the repeatability of gameplay experiences. Those are all factors, and there's many more that go into consideration of what is the right price point for the game. So I think you can anticipate that there will be variable pricing, and we haven't set a benchmark. I think it's less about representing the industry. This is really about Nintendo deciding the right thing to do for its products, or what the pricing should be for its products overall. Even in the previous generation, we had some variability. I think for us, that's really how we want to proceed and go forward. I can't speak for other games that might be released by other publishers or other platforms. It's more about what we think is right for our content, what is the right value for the consumers as they come into our platform. That said, according to industry veteran Stefan Totillo, many of these interviews were likely conducted prior to the official announcement of Trump's liberation tariffs and Nintendo's subsequent decision to delay pre-orders for the Switch 2 in the US. The situation has been changing rapidly since then, and it is likely that Nintendo is now heavily considering adjustments to their prices in the US due to the ongoing tariffs. In another separate interview with The Wire, Doug Bowser said that the tariffs create a challenge and is something Nintendo will have to address. So yeah, that's a bit of an update about the pricing of the console. It's looking bad. It's looking bleak. Hopefully we get an update about it soon, but from what he said here, it's not even taken into consideration the new tariffs as well. So if that's going to be kind of a problem, which again, it is already a problem, we know it is, probably means it's going to be even more expensive for people in America. But either way, that's an update regarding the variable pricing for the Nintendo Switch 2. Finishing things off today, though, we do have a pre-order updates to go over. So it is the 9th of April today. Pre-orders are now live for the Nintendo Switch 2 in Europe, in Australia, wherever you are. You will be able to get it unless you're in America and now Canada as well. So online pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 are delayed in another major country about a day before they were set to be made available. So this is an update from Game Rant regarding Canada and their availability to get the Nintendo Switch 2. So, pre-orders for the Nintendo Switch 2 have been delayed in Canada about a day before they were set to go live. So this went live. So this was announced yesterday, a day before the pre-orders were about to go live. Like, how bad is that? It's so bad. Like, a day before the pre-orders go live is ridiculous. The Nintendo Switch 2 will launch on the 5th of June and will offer the standard console by itself and also a bundle featuring the highly anticipated Mario Kart World. Pre-orders for the new system will reportedly go live everywhere on 9th of April, with two very notable exceptions. So these Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders were originally going to be available in the United States as well, to the point where retailers like Best Buy were already preparing for drive-in pickups on the Switch 2's launch day. However, Nintendo eventually decided to delay these pre-orders in the US due to the recent Trump administration tariffs on countries like Japan, Vietnam, and Cambodia, places where Nintendo's hardware is manufactured. As a result, Nintendo announced that it needs to reevaluate how these tariffs will impact the production and delivery of the Nintendo Switch 2 for US markets. So the US isn't the only country now missing out on Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders in the wake of the tariffs. As reported by Mobile Syrup, Nintendo of Canada has announced that the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders have also been delayed in Canada to align with the timing of the US ones. Shockingly, this announcement comes just a day before the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders were set to go live on the 9th of April. Nintendo says it will add updated information at a later date. And it says the Trump administration's tariffs might impact the Nintendo Switch 2 in more ways than just delaying when pre-orders will be available. The console is already making headlines for the high price tags of both the system itself and certain launch titles like Mario Kart World, and some analysts are already predicting that these tariffs will lead to those prices being raised even higher. So while Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders are delayed in the US and its neighboring country of Canada, Nintendo has assured the public that the console will still launch worldwide on the 5th of June as planned. There is currently no word on when pre-orders will begin in the US and Canada, but scalpers have reportedly already started selling the Nintendo Switch 2 at inflated prices online, despite Nintendo's efforts to prevent this through special requirements on its official website. On a lighter note, some eager fans are already camping out in front of stores to wait for the Nintendo Switch 2's eventual release. So yeah, I mean, look, it's unfair. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like anything else. It is absolutely bizarre. It's absolutely unfair. It's ridiculous. The price is already expensive, and the fact that it might be even higher is just, it's just a kick in the teeth, man. And I really feel for you guys across the pond, and for a lot of people, really, it's affecting a lot of countries, and it's not good. You know, I obviously stay out of political stuff and all that, but this political stuff is literally affecting people's ability to buy this new console, which we've been looking forward to for so long, and now it's going to be even more expensive, most likely, and we don't even know when the pre-order is going to go live. Again, it's still apparently coming out on the 5th of June, so we've got that to look forward to. But yeah, man, if you're in one of these countries like America or Canada or whatever, yeah, man, I really feel for you. It's absolutely horrendous. They've not handled it well, Nintendo. But again, I mean, you can't, they have to adapt. They're a business at the end of the day. I'm not defending them at all, but they have to adapt to these political things that are going on in the world. These tariffs are a massive thing. They're not going to be making a profit if they don't increase it. If they have to spend all this extra money to ship these consoles to places like America and Canada stuff, they're going to have to raise the prices, otherwise they're going to be losing money, and they're a business at the end of the day. They have to make money, they have to make profits, so that's obviously going to hit the consumers. It's a whole situation. Look, as soon as we get an update about it, I'll let you guys know, but nothing's happened today on the 9th of April, at the point I'm recording this anyway. But hopefully we get some information soon. But either way, that's the updates there about pre-orders. Obviously, if you're everywhere else, you should be able to get it today. I know that some other places are still struggling, and they haven't updated about pre-orders or anything, even though they should have, because they are supposed to go live today. But I don't know, keep checking your, I guess, local places or wherever you usually buy consoles from. Hopefully today they do go live at some point. But let me know your thoughts on that, and then also everything else we covered, all the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, the Z-A Pokedex leaks, the Kalos starters being in the wild, and of course the kind of miscellaneous Pokemon events and updates as well. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time,